Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Seeing Beyond It Through with Monty. Right before you, as the story broke, it is the story of a black man in South Carolina being accosted in a gated community by one Army Sargent Johnathon Pentland. Now, this story has gone viral, and as the result of it going viral, it has shined a very negative light on Army Sergeant Johnathon Pentland. Such a negative light that he ended up being arrested for third-degree assault. But before I go on, and this is for those of you who are not familiar to the case as to what happened, I will show you.
Go away right now.
Call the police.
Hey, they've already been called. They're just waiting.
Taking fights with who?
You know what? Maybe you should hang on a little longer. We'll see how it goes. Then we won't have to get the report by ourselves.
What is it you're doing here?
Walking.
Then walk.
out.
Okay, that's what I was doing. She came out of the house. and ran
Well, you've been here like 15 minutes now.
Let's go. Walk away.
Keep walking.
Walk away.
I already walked away.
Walk away right now. You need help?
You got this in front of you.
I'm happy to help you. I didn't hit you. There's a difference between
Pretty sure
pushing
you were
you.
the aggressor, buddy.
You're aggressing on the
When
neighborhood.
someone came running at
Walk
the
back.
house.
You better walk away. You walk away. You're talking to my wife right now.
That's your wife?
Walk away.
I didn't do
Walk
anything to
away.
Your wife to speak.
Check it out. You either walk away or I'm going to carry your ass out of here.
Dude, if you touch
What do you
me,
want to do?
You better not touch me.
Or
I'm
what?
not arguing.
What are you going to do?
And as of that, with Johnathon Pentland assaulting the young man, pushing him, breaking his phone, he was arrested for third-degree assault. And as you've seen right there, it sparked some outrage, and righteously so. And with that outrage came protesters. You know, no justice, no peace. And there was someone who believes that he heard something as to what might have precipitated this, or what could have been the result of it. But it's a little bit shady and shaky, and I will let you see this, and I will come back with my commentary.
What you gonna do? You gonna stay in here every day? And I'm all in your yard, bro. I'm all on your territory at this point. Come on. We want to talk to you. Talk to us. We just want to talk. We want to understand some things. That's it. No justice, no peace. Come on, order. What you gonna do? You gonna stay in here every day? And I'm all in your yard, bro.
I got the story from the lady who started the whole thing. Mr. John was in his house.
God damn.
For some reason, this lady, I don't know if she's lying. I can't say she's lying, but she's saying that the young man in the video sexually assaulted her daughter. They friends. The daughter 21, he 22. What happened was they are quote unquote dog walking partners.
All right.
The boy tugged on her shirt, she said. She came out yelling for help. She didn't explain how they got into the argument. She won't explain that. So boom. She said that she came out in the middle of her street and yelled help for 5 minutes and nobody in the neighborhood came out. So she ran all the way from over there. She ran from all the way over there across it to Mr. John's house and rang the doorbell, and he came out, and then that's when you see the video. So she ran from over there and skipped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and ran 10, 11. About 10 houses, at least 10, and came over and knocked on the door to come get Mr. Big Man.
That should be no
Come on, help Mr. Big Man.
Okay, so now it went from walking in the neighborhood to possibly sexually assaulting his daughter, which I find to be far-fetched. And the reason why, he would have been all over him. his reaction would have been violent. If he was acting like that just because a young man was walking in the neighborhood, if someone possibly sexually assaulted my daughter, I would have mentioned it right then and there, not later. And then I would have apprehended him, held him until the police showed up. None of this was done. So it seems like the wife, or who is ever making the claim, is doing that to try to build a case, because she knows that her husband is in trouble. And let me say this. This whole case of this, black man walking supposedly where he's not supposed to be, in a neighborhood where he doesn't belong, allegedly. I mean, this is America. You're free to travel any place you want to, at least I thought. But it's very reminiscent of this case right here. George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman was the security guard at a apartment complex. And he took his authority way too far. And this authority, to me, it kind of deems on white skin privilege. I guess if you're not the right skin tone, you don't really belong there. And if you're not the right skin tone, we're going to stop and question you as to why are you in our neighborhood. And this type of mentality, this racist mentality, resulted in Treyvon Martin being murdered. All because he didn't belong. Because he didn't look right. He didn't have the right skin color. So this type of mentality I find to be very troubling. And it's definitely rooted in racism. Call it what you may. You can be in denial all you want. Because I can bet you, had this young man been white, he would not have been stopped, nor questioned, nor even walked up to. Just like Trayvon Martin was stopped, he was questioned, where are you going? Do you live here? And so forth. So here's Jonathan with his wife, who was a culprit in it also. She was a big agitator, encouraging things on. I guess it made her feel very protected that her man stopped a thug. Even though this young man probably was not a thug. But I'm using thug in the way that, in their eyes, that's what they would see. Anyone who's not the right skin complexion walking in their neighborhood, particularly a black man, is a thug to them. And who act really thuggish, who act really volatile, prone to violence. It wasn't the black guy, not at all. But they don't see that. So righteously so, as I mentioned before, Johnathon Pentland ended up being arrested for third-degree assault. And watch this. It's going to come out, I'm not racist. Some of my best friends are black. It had nothing to do with race. You know the whole 9 yards, the excuses in which they always make. You came to the wrong neighborhood, mother effer. Army investigator, Fort Jackson drill instructor for shoving a black kid and accused him of hanging around the South Carolina gated community. So it's all about protecting his turf. It's strange how he believes that is his community. When you live there, you're one of the tenants who happens to resides there. But he put himself as judge, jury, and executioner. I guess the guard of that particular community. And which he should have been. It serves him right. And I just hope that with this particular situation, as black people always have a tendency to do, is to forgive. It's almost like sometimes when you forgive, you're excusing behavior that could have gotten you killed. Did I hear that they called the police? The police could have killed you. he could have killed you. Sometimes we need to learn what to forgive for, when to forgive, and even how to forgive. But it seems to me that black people are always doing that forgiving stuff. But we'll see how he takes it. But, I'm just very glad that this thug right here did get arrested. Because maybe it would teach him a lesson. That he needs to look inwardly, deeply, and ask himself, why did I behave like that? What caused me to question him? Did I have a right to question him? Why did I overstep my boundaries? Was this even necessary? Those are the questions in which Johnathon Pentland, in a cell by himself, needs to ask himself. And maybe he can straighten things out within himself to become a better human being. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that was another edition of Seeing Beyond and Through with Monty, and I will see you beyond and through.